Hello everybody, this is Prowl, and today I have for you an extremely simple, quick to build, easy, yet as you can see, very fast zombified piglin or ziglin farm, and I would like to share this with you today so you can start building it in your world. Okay, so to start, you can literally put this anywhere in the overworld as long as you're above Y level 0. There's a bug that makes these not work below Y level 0, so make sure it goes above Y level 0. Other than that, you can put it anywhere. And I just started this brand new world. I'm gonna find a spot that's not so ugly and we'll go put it there. Okay, I found a pretty good spot on top of a hill here that I liked. So this is where we're gonna build, and this is where you're going to start. Also, fire spread or fire tick must be turned on because we're gonna be using a special mechanic that I believe Navy Nexus came up with years ago to light our portal. I've been messing with it a little bit to try to get it to run a little bit faster. And I think I have. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna count up 14 blocks. On that 15th block, we're gonna put a piece of obsidian, and we're gonna make a portal that is 23 blocks square. So 23 blocks in each direction. And once you have your portal built, do yourself a favor, try to light it, make sure it lights up. If it does, then you are good. 23 by 23 is the maximum size portal that you can make. And for every one of these little portal tiles that you see here, there is a chance when the portal is lit for a zombified piglin or ziglin to spawn. So bigger portal equals more spawns. And today we are only going to be doing a single portal because I want to make this super easy, quick, and efficient for you guys to do in the early game. Now, as we start to work with our portal here, you need to take note of what is the positive side and what is the negative side of the portal. If I walk in this direction, you'll see my X coordinate is going down. That's the negative side. If I go in this other direction, my X coordinate is going up, meaning that is the positive side. The piglins spawn on the positive side, which means all of our stuff that we're going to do to the portal goes on the negative side. And to start out, we're going to take any solid block that cannot catch fire, and we're going to put it right here. Now, starting on one side, we're going to face one observer in this direction like that. And we're going to do it 2 blocks over from the end. And then after that, we're going to face a whole bunch of observers looking at those going this way, all the way to the very end. We're going to put trap doors all along every single one of these spaces. We're going to surround this system with solid blocks that are not burnable. And eventually we're going to bring 3 lava buckets and dump them in here. Now, when our ziglins spawn in, their heads will spawn at this level right here. They will spawn in that spot all the way across. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a way to catch them. And to do that, we're just going to put a little wall down here, and we want them to drop 2 blocks down. That way they can't somehow hop back up in the portal and transfer over to the nether. So we're going to go down 2 blocks like this, and we're going to count over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Do the same thing on this side. Once you go over the 7 on each one of those, go ahead and go down 2 more. Connect these up like this. And then we will knock a hole. Really, we need 2 holes in the middle. It could be either way, doesn't matter. I'm sorry it's not symmetrical. Don't get mad at me. Bruh. Let's block off the back side here, here, and here. And in the front, I like to see what's going on, so we'll use glass up here, but you can use solid blocks as well. That's fine. Now you're gonna want to bring it all the way up to the level of where their like heads spawn in. That way there's no way that multiple will occupy, like spawn in at the same spot at the same time and try to push their way out. We don't want to see that happen. So now you should have something like this. And then lastly, when we put our water in, we don't want it to be able to flow out. So we're gonna put a fence gate there, a fence gate there, open it up, and then we're just gonna put a water bucket here and a water bucket here, and you'll see that water flow down, and it will bring our zombie piglins to this point right here. Next thing you're going to want to do is build a Trident killer. That way we can kill our zombie piglins fast and without having to do it ourselves. So we can AFK here at the farm and we'll get XP, and we'll use the looting 3 enchantment to make sure that we get the most amount of loot possible. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over to the back side here, and we're going to actually make this into a little 2x2 chamber because that's how big a Trident killer is. Let's come over to the back side here. And we don't need to drop them too far. About 3 blocks should be more than enough. So you should have a little drop chute like that where your zombie pigmen are going to fall into. All right, now what we're going to do, I'm going to take these blocks out temporarily because we're going to be working in this area right here. We're going to start out with a floor made of mud blocks, and it does have to be mud blocks. If you don't know how to make mud, just get a bottle filled with water and then click on a dirt block with it and you'll have mud. Very easy. Go ahead and knock out all of these guys right here because we're actually going to be using this space. First, let's go ahead and surround this with solid blocks because we need a little bit of space to work with here. And to make our Trident killer, we're going to put a piston facing here, 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 and here. You saw I place it on the right side, each direction I faced. All the other blocks except for the one in the front is going to be a solid block. All of those except for this one right here. This one right here is going to be a top half slab. Now we're going to put a solid block on top of each piston, and we're going to go to where the piston is, look to the right, and place down an observer facing out towards the corner on each side, and then place a rail in each one of these slots here. That will make us a Trident killer. Now we need an on-off switch for this, so we just grab a lever, that's fine, and place the lever wherever a rail is. Right there is fine, that works good. Now we do need to get our Tridents in here. I would recommend putting about 3 or 4 in. Should be enough to keep up with the amount of zombified piglins or ziglins that we're gonna have in here. So all you gotta do is just get down in here like this and just throw them anywhere in there that hits the mud. Go ahead and turn it on really quick, make sure they're getting cycled around. They are. That's good. Now here's where the magic of mud blocks comes in and why I told you to use mud, because mud is not a full-sized solid block. It actually has like a little layer where like things can sink down into it. Items are among those things. So whenever an item falls down on there, it can just be picked up by a regular hopper. So what we're going to do is we're going to face some hoppers out in that direction, and we're going to face 2 hoppers forward into those. These will pick up our items and send them on their way to our storage system and smelting system that we're going to have. Okay, next thing we're going to do is we are going to get set up for the item sorting system, of which there will be 2 of them. We're going to go out in each direction about 12 blocks. And then we're going to make a chain of hoppers going across those 12 blocks because this is where our sorter system is going to go. Go ahead and do this on both sides. Next, go ahead and put a temporary block out in front of those hoppers, 1 block down, and then run a chain of them all the way across. Now, in each one of these spots here, we're going to be putting an item sorter. We're going to put 1, 2, 3, and 4 of them for gold nuggets, 2 for gold ingots, and 1 for rotten flesh. Now below each one of these spaces, we're going to put 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 double chests because this is going to be our storage system. Now next, we are going to skip this row right here. We're not going to put anything there. And then right here, we're going to go ahead behind in these last 2 slots. We're going to put a couple more hoppers facing inwards like this. Those hoppers are going to go into 2 chests just like that right there. Next, come down 1, 2, 3 hoppers below each one of those chests. They're all facing straight down just like that. They will each go down into a blast furnace right here, plop a double chest right there, and then run 2 hoppers into the back of that. That section is all good to go. Now, at the very end of your line where this hopper is facing, go ahead and put a dropper facing straight down there. We can put a solid block temporarily right there. And put 1 here, 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 here. And then again, I always like to see inside. So we're going to put a glass block in front of right there. But first we're going to place lava here. We're going to put our glass block right there to block the lava in. Now to finish this thing off, come out 2, come out 3, put a solid block right there. Next, put a comparator right here, put it in subtract mode, put a repeater right here, and then do redstone dust across here. That makes us a clock. Now anything that gets put inside of here will automatically get dispensed out into lava. This is our overflow system. So anything that gets full or somehow skips will automatically go into the overflow right here and get burned up so our system doesn't get jammed up and create a whole bunch of lag. Next, come behind all your chests and just add in hoppers going into the back of all of them. We're going to make the item filters here really quick. What you're going to do is you're going to place a solid block behind the hopper that's facing into the chests. Let's make a whole row going across your whole system. Now, temporary block and go up 1. Bring that all the way across. Bring a glass block all the way across. Put a temporary block here and put a solid block there and bring that all the way across. And I put a temporary block here and a solid block here, and then pull that all the way across. Next, take repeaters, and you could just easily look up right here, place a repeater in each slot. Take your torches, place a torch in each slot. Take a comparator right here coming out of the hopper, place a comparator in each slot, and fill the rest with redstone dust. Now, all we're going to do is we're going to look at the hoppers that these comparators are like already viewing. We're going to click there. We're going to put in the item that we want to filter. We could just put one in there for now. A gold nugget will work perfectly fine right there. And then you need something to reserve the rest of the slots. It's something that's not going to run through the system. It is best to take any item in the game, run it through an anvil, and just change the name of it. It doesn't matter what you use, but if you use diamonds and you name them sub to Prowl, only if you name them sub to Prowl, it will make your farm 3 times faster. That is a 100% Prowl guarantee. So make sure you sub to Prowl. And we're just going to do that for all of these. We put in the placeholder. We put in the item we're going to sort. We put in the placeholder, item we're going to sort. Remember, we were doing 4 of these as nuggets, the next 2 as ingots, and then the last one as rotten flesh. Now you can easily do as many of these as you want. This is my recommended setup right here. I do recommend for the nuggets and the ingots to have at least 2 filters for each of them, because sometimes items can skip just because hopper speed on Bedrock can be kind of funky. So if you have 2 of each, you won't have any of them skip through. The rotten flesh doesn't matter quite as much. What'll happen is if these items slots are available, aka the chests aren't full, they'll get sucked down into each one of those slots depending on which item it is. Now everything else, which it should only be the swords at this point, or any overflow, if anything down here gets full, anything else will go across here, and that's where our swords come into play. We're going to put a non-stackable item filter here. It actually works just the same as this, just 1 block higher. There, now we have a non-stackable item filter there. I do recommend coming to the back of your furnaces right here and adding in a double chest for fuel. Now, based on the speed that this thing works, this furnace right here will work all the time. Sometimes you get a big enough influx of swords to where it will bleed over to this furnace, but this furnace does not stay active all the time, so it will waste a little bit of fuel. You can keep that in mind. I'm just going to go ahead back here and throw in some kelp blocks. Kelp blocks are a great fuel source, but use whatever you want. And now we have one side all done. We're just going to do this exact same thing to the other side. Okay, that part's all done. I even dressed it up a little bit and set up for the items to drop all the way down there. I don't know why I'm doing this for a tutorial. I just like to see the items drop. Is that so wrong? Anyways, we do need to make sure we can come AFK up here. So we're going to want to probably just make like a little area to stand, right? Okay, now it's time for the final parts. We need to get this thing going. So what do we need? Well, first of all, we do need a dispenser. Dispenser will go right here. And you could put water or you could put powdered snow in here. I actually tested both and it doesn't matter. You can do either one. So you do not have to go get powdered snow for this to work. I know a lot of people may think that you have to do that, but I tested it thoroughly. You do not. Now the clock for this is very simple. We're just going to use a standard torch burnout. So we're going to just do a little like L shape right here. And we're going to put 3 blocks across right here like this. We're going to put torches on the back side. We're going to put dust on the front side just like this. And that's going to cause that to flicker. Now we need a way to turn this on and off. We don't want it to just be on all the time. The on off lever you can kind of put wherever you want. We're going to try to keep it close here. So I'm going to go over 2 blocks here. We're going to put a lever right here. And we're simply going to come out with glass right here. If we use a solid block, it would lock the hopper. We don't want to lock the hopper. We want to make sure we kind of clear over top of this too. So what we'll do is we'll run a signal up this way, and then it just needs to like hit that block right there, because that block is where some of the redstone dust is. So we just bring it over to about right here. Now, when we get right here, I'll probably want to go up 1 like this, come over into a solid block with a torch on top, and then we'll just have a short torch tower just like that. Now, if we switch this lever, turns it off. Switch the lever, turns it on. Perfect. So we're going to turn that off. It does not matter if the state of this is out or in. but we could flick it to leave it one way or the other if we want to. And we have one last bit to do. We're going to take lava here. We're going to count over 1, 2, 3. Put lava on that 4 spot. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Put lava there. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Put lava right there. Now, this lit the portal because what happens is these trap doors actually can catch fire, but they will set the portal right here on fire, and fire on the portal will light it, except for when we have something in the way. And the reason that we took this all the way down is because that gives us the best chance to relight this portal as fast as possible. We want it to instantly relight whenever there's not water here, which you'll see whenever there's not water there. There we go. So if I turn this thing on, you'll see it's flickering on, and it seemed my burnout clock there didn't work right. So I'm going to switch to something that's, I guess, a little bit more reliable. We're going to do this. We're going to do this right here. And this should keep it from burning out. Let's just reconnect the redstone here. And there we go. Okay, so we fixed our clock. This should work perfectly fine now. Whenever we flick it on and off, it does. Now, why do you not see zombie piglins? Well, because I've had the mobs turned off. If I turn this on, you'll see the zombie piglins coming out. And if we turn our Trident killer here, you will see them and hear them start to die. Now, this is when you're going to want to hold your looting 3 sword, which we do have in our hands right now. Staying in here, you will pick up that XP. Actually, I think this block right here is getting in the way of our XP getting out, so we'll just do a block right there. There we go. Our XP is now able to get out a little bit easier, and as you can see, it is flowing on over to me. If you find that the XP is coming a little slow to you, you could slow down the Trident killer a little bit. Replace a couple of those with redstone dust instead. That'll slow down some. The XP should have a little bit easier time getting out. Lastly, just to show you guys, the items are flowing into the system here. If I look here, you see items flowing in, you see items flowing in. Every once in a while, it gets a little bit backed up, but I ran it for hours before, and it does auto-correct itself or catch back up with itself as it goes. As you can see, if we look back here, we do have items going into our filters, and actually it looks like we're already getting nuggets into our chest because those filter slots have filled up. We are already starting to smelt some swords, which will start to move into here. And the reason we put these chests here is because they can fill up with swords, and it'll just keep the system from like more frequently spitting swords over to here, because sometimes you get a big influx of swords, sometimes you go a little while without some, so that'll just kind of help that even itself out. And that's it. That is the super simple, quick to build, very easy gold farm. I hope you guys enjoy it. Let me know, are you setting this up in your world right now? If you are, let me know down in the comment section below. Also, make sure you click the like button on this video to help it get seen by more people, and subscribe to the channel for more great Minecraft Bedrock Edition tutorials. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you next time.